Hey Rose, it's Friday, February 7th. Right now, this very second, as I'm recording this, the opening ceremony of the 22nd Winter Olympics is happening in Sochi, Russia. The Olympics is a great time. Ever since I was a kid, I have been moved by the idea of the Olympics. Every couple years for a few weeks, the entire world ignores their differences, whether they be religious or political or social differences, and they come together to enjoy a pastime that is shared by humans of all backgrounds. Sport and competition. However, this year with the 22nd Winter Olympics taking place in Russia, there has been a great deal of controversy concerning whether or not Russia is keeping true to the spirit of the Olympic Games. If you're like me, I'm sure you've heard on the news or on the internet or from friends about Russia's anti-gay laws. However, if you are also like me, you may have no idea what those laws are. So I did a little bit of research so you don't have to. Throughout recent history, Russia has been quite discriminatory towards the LGBT community. Same-sex consensual sexual activity between adults was only just decriminalized in 1993, just 2 decades ago. And still, in Russia, there are no laws against discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity and expression. Also, households led by same-sex couples are denied the legal protection available to heterosexual couples. Up until just 15 years ago, in 1999, homosexuality was legally classified as a mental illness in Russia. What? Now, all of this sounds pretty bad, but things are changing, right? We tend to believe that over time discrimination is going away. I mean, even here in the United States, we are currently going through the process of allowing homosexual couples to get married. So who are we to judge, right? Unfortunately, wrong. It turns out that LGBT discrimination in Russia isn't getting better with time. Most notably is a law that was just unanimously voted on, signed by Vladimir Putin, and put into law last year, in 2013, that bans the, quote, propaganda of non-traditional sexual relations to minors. Basically, it is illegal to talk about, teach, or distribute information about homosexuality, including sexual safety, to anyone under the age of 18. This is especially disturbing when you consider that the age of consent for both same and opposite sex couples is 16, which means that anyone can have sex with a 16-year-old child, but no one is allowed to teach that same child about homosexuality for another 2 years. What the crap? Also, studies show that homophobia is on the rise by the Russian population. In 2013, 74% of Russians believed that homosexuality should not be accepted by society. This was up 25% from a poll that was taken just 10 years earlier. This really isn't a surprise because as much as we like to believe we control our own society, the ideals of our leaders play a huge role in our belief structure. There was a time not that long ago when everyone believed that blacks were inferior beings, until some of our own leaders made us realize that they are people, just like us, who have the same basic goals and dreams that we do. It seems so obvious now, but here we are, a half a century later, going through the exact same thing. When it comes down to it, if the Russian government isn't going to stand up for the LGBT community, its own citizens, then how can the Russian people be expected to accept them into society as well? Also, keep in mind that as socially backwards as all of this sounds, although we are changing, here in America, we aren't that far ahead. I would like to leave you with an excerpt from the Olympic Charter. The practice of sport is a human right. Every individual must have the possibility of practicing sport without discrimination of any kind, and in the Olympic spirit, which requires mutual understanding with a spirit of friendship, solidarity, and fair play. Rose, we will see you on Monday.